So the focus of today and the idea with this session was to show you the highest end game content in Fortnite Save the World. That's not like a normal boss fight, because Save the World is a lot of fun with a lot to do and a lot of missions to run through, but it's not as flashy as like a BR event. You know, the Storm King fight is super fun, but if you know what you're doing, you're out of there in 10 minutes or less. So it's cool, and that's great, but the average player barely does the Storm King. I mean, you might run it every week, get your mythic weapon. There are 5 of them, so it's worth doing, and getting extra copies has its benefits, but ultimately, I haven't ran Storm King in like a year, maybe once or twice. It's just not a thing you do once you've got 20 copies of each weapon. So, something
Except when you want to show it to me. That's
of
like
course,
the 2 times you ran it.
we use them. They're cool. They are really awesome weapons. I just don't need 40 copies. So once you got it, you got it. What we are normally running when I play the game, I have a playlist of like fun 160s on my channel, over 200 videos just showing off fun loadouts in these 164 player missions. These are the highest missions that are normally obtainable in the game. You can find harder enemies in different areas of the game through event modes and your Storm Shield defense. It's called Endurance. That takes 2.5 hours. Not the most exciting video, but people do it all the time, and enemies do get stronger in that environment. But if you wanted to just hop in and do something fun, that's where 160s came up. So these enemies are tough. These are labeled as 160, but they have a 4-player boost. So they'll get up to power level 254, I believe, in the current update, which is ridiculous. The player can only go to 145. So these guys are tough.
Wow.
And they are tough. I lose these occasionally. If we're slacking a little, I have failed these missions, and it still happens if you're not on it. There will be the full amount of elemental enemies, which means they have different advantages. They'll be resistant to physical weapons. You'll need elemental lineups. This season is all nature enemies. In fact, if you look at the map quick, it might allow you to check out the mission info. Lightning Storm means nature enemies. They are going to do extra damage to metal, which means the strongest building material we can use is just excluded right there. It's better to use brick. So that debuff alone makes things challenging. Epic mini bosses always appear in 160 missions. They are tough. We will experience them. They have a lot of different modifiers, and I can't predict what it's going to be. Slowing pools, honestly, one of the easier ones, but that'll slow you down. That's a big deal. Sometimes you can have Exploding Death Bomb, which blows you up and your builds, which is crazy. Frenzied Death Burst means as soon as you kill an enemy, which is what you're supposed to do, they get stronger.
Oh, God.
And slowing attacks. So not only do we have slowing pools, but if you get hit by an enemy, they'll slow you down. These modifiers are, these ones in specific are kind of easy, but Healing Death Burst, where they're healing each other, Frenzied Death Burst, Exploding Death Bomb. There are some combinations that are gnarly. Elemental targets, modifiers that debuff you, they will spawn in the most quantity that they will spawn, and the location of the enemy spawning will rotate. So there's a lot. However, there is no time limit on some of these modes. We'll be able to build up a defense, and I'm going to show you all of that and how we use our different traps. They're definitely going to come into play. Yeah, okay, if you're awesome at the game, you don't need traps, but that's really more of a challenge. Building trap tunnels is a core part of Save the World, and we need to talk loadouts. That's why we're not in-game yet, but we can also build you a safe defense. And that's what my team has been instructed to do. I told them I wanted to show you how to trap, and they know to let me do that, but they're also going to make sure you stay alive, because we cannot boost your level anymore. You are stuck. But the change that happened means that every single one of us individually have the stats of if we were in a 4-player mission of other people at our level. So you have the stats of 4 people at level 18. I have the stats of 4 people at 144, etc. So if you pull up the inventory, the main menu, you can see the whole party. I have stats in the 5600s, which is just about where I would have been at in a full party before the update. Now I'm just there on my own. So we can't help you. You will have to be protected. We have healing pads. We have walls we can place and things to upgrade. So loadout doesn't matter much. I'm going to run a basic sniper build because the Super Shredder is coming to BR, and why not? Show it off. Yeah. And we'll have other strong weapons, and my team has been instructed to help us with that. So let's hop in game and show you I want to show you 2 missions if you're up for it. So the first one we're doing is retrieve the data. This is considered to be one of the easier 160s, and you'll see why very closely. But I also want to show you a category 4 mission, because that has 4 different objectives to defend, and it is, in my opinion, the hardest normal mission in the game.
Gotcha.
So these glowing animals are awesome. You just eliminate the crow, and while this is not the weapon I'd recommend everybody should have, you can pick this up now, and you just have that. So now you have a strong weapon.
Could I use that?
You could equip it right now. If you see other glowing animals, keep an eye out. They are great. So let's just give you a basic idea of what's going on here. Just the enemies standing around are going to be level 160. You can see with a very strong weapon like the flame bow, you can do some damage, but these guys are monsters. This is, as I'm seeing it, a tourist mission. Your involvement in this mission, the focus of the video.
Show me around.
Exactly. The idea is you're making a video catering to new players. This is the end game. I'm not trying to scare anybody off. I'm actually trying to excite people and show them, like, look, you get all the way to the end game.
Look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. People ask me, how do you keep playing this game? Of course, I'm a content creator. I like making videos, and that's what keeps me around for the most part. But I really do like these missions. I think they're fun. And, oh, yeah, these jump pads are awesome. Super fun to play with.
From Season 0 Battle Royale.
So here's the defense. If you look up in the sky, you can see the balloon. That's one of the reasons people really like Retrieve the Data. It is a 1x1x1 defense, and you can see the walls my teammates are putting down. It's pretty standardized.
Yeah.
It's the same defense every time you run Retrieve the Data, so you can put down basic stuff. So, in the end game, you got to use all your traps. If you load up your map right now, you can see there are purple clouds on the west, east, and south. That's where the enemies will come from. So, down here, take that guy out. Tar pits. These are a very special trap in Save the World. Is there any equivalent in BR?
I mean, we only had spike traps. Like, wait, this is gonna slow you down.
That will stop smashers and anything mid-charge. Smashers are a big deal. We will see them, I'm sure. And we put these down because smashers literally smash through your walls. That's their whole purpose, and this will stop them. We also have propane husks. It's been pointed out to me that they technically are throwing butane, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anti-air traps are really cool. They shoot projectiles out of the air, and when I place it down, you'll see a bubble. That's its range. And there are enemies that will shoot projectiles at us, and there are enemies like those propanes I mentioned that will literally throw those and blow up our builds. So what those are for in the corners are to just stop those propanes from blowing up. That's its entire purpose. I'm clearing out my inventory right now because...
Are these special brick walls?
Yeah, like so in Save the World, you can upgrade. This is a tier 3. On the floor over here is a tier 2.
They gotta bring this to VR. Give us some like advanced building.
When I learned this, the first time I played Save the World, I was like, this needs to be in VR right away. And it's so cool to treat you as a tourist. It's not like we're in the MSK fight and you're getting clowned on. Like we know you are severely underleveled for this. We're just giving you a tour. That's what this is. So these guys have, I told my team to help. They're being amazing. 3 tiles up is important because we have tire drop traps. These things will drop a load of tires on the enemies. You got to look up. And it will bounce the enemies around. Yeah, just like that. There you go. Perfect timing. They walked right through. It does pretty good damage. And I'm not trying to get into the weeds with technical stuff, but they are directional. So if you face the objective, it'll bounce them towards your back and always in that direction. So not only do they
pushing them into traps?
Yeah, exactly. Or away from your defense. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So floor freeze are the same way. That's why I face this objective here, because when the enemies are standing here and they get frozen, they'll freeze. They'll take more damage while frozen, and then when they thaw out, they'll stagger backwards. So there's 3 things going on all at once. So if these floor freeze will slow enemies down and push them away. It'll make them take more damage from the other traps around them. And when they're not moving, they're not coming towards your defense. So we can do stuff like this. Oh, hey, there's a new thing. So Save the World recently made it so you can actually build in terrain. So that's actually relatively new for us.
Wait, that's new.
That is new. We didn't have it until like a couple years ago now.
I remember that was... the first time I played Save the World, like you couldn't build into terrain. I was like, wait, this is kind of strange.
The reason they didn't allow it, I believe, Epic never spoke on it that I'm aware of, but the reason they didn't is, by the way, tire trap, the pushing, it'll push them uphill. Like it's that fun. it's that strong.
I see.
Anyway, the reason I believe is we think it might have made it too easy to build defenses, but there were some certain errors in a new map they introduced that honestly just letting us build in terrain seemed to solve a lot of the issues they were dealing with. And everybody loves it. I mean, does it make the game a little easier? Sure. Does it make it a lot more fun? Yeah. I mean, come on.
It's good when the change is something that everybody like appreciates. Like it's at the end of the day.
And you'll see when we get started here. I will say, if there's any snobby viewers out there, this is going to be a little over-trapped. I'm not exactly trying to fail this mission, but we're also trying to show what things can do. So instead of spamming tire traps forever...
Just make a Save the World 6-7.
What happened?
You just made a Save the World 6-7.
The building edits in this game allow for a significant amount of creativity. What's the nicest way I can put this?
Yeah. So wait. So hold on, real quick.
Sure.
There's something I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Because obviously my account, I have like a bunch of like overpowered weapons from back when you could trade, and I've kind of like been all over the place, jumping around. I'm thinking about making a fresh account when it goes free to play and starting from the beginning and experiencing the game the way it's supposed to be experienced.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Super fun. I did it myself. I have a whole playlist on my channel called like Noob Account.
Mm-hmm.
I named it X Mista Noob instead of Beast. And ton of fun. Honestly, just the nostalgia as a late game player, I really enjoyed it. If someone in your audience has like an old 130 power level player that sees free to play as neat but really couldn't care less, try that out. If it costs you nothing, the game is free.
It is going to be free. By the time you guys are watching this, it's free. It's
people
free
were
right now.
doing this in my community. They saw my noob account and got inspired. They were doing it when the game was $20 because the game was fun enough just to spend that. Now that it's free, I mean, come on. And I don't know how relevant this is to that, but Save the World does progress your battle pass. You get a lot of XP. In fact, I think I mentioned this to you at one point, but Save the World actually has the most battle pass XP. You will progress your battle pass the most from Save the World. This mission at the end of the game, if you pay attention to the rewards and try not to skip them, they made them very easy to skip. This is also another new feature. Supply crates give you so much loot. So much. And
wow.
It's a lot. They made it 8x better. Like, they made it a shorter cooldown by almost half. They doubled the amount of items it drops and the quantity that they drop at. So literally like it's like 8 times better. It's awesome. In your case, by the way, I don't think you would need a new account. Maybe just for the first couple of missions, which it seems like you still have to do. If you just opened your inventory and recycled everything I or anybody else dropped you, that would be a fairly fresh start. It'd get you a little ahead on loot, but not too much that it would seriously impact your experience. And as mentioned, you'd still get to progress your battle pass, which at the amount that you play Fortnite probably isn't a super big deal.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't have to worry about that. But okay, so like recycling all my loot and stuff would sort of give me a similar experience, considering I haven't really done many missions anyways.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I've always been I do have that second account and it was fun to play with, but anything I can do on the main is good. So we're going to leave this east side just a little less defended, and we're going to give you, here, this will be cute. I'm going to give you like a looking glass up here. The new movement they added from BR allows for mantling and stuff. I'm going to upgrade all of this. This is going to be the SypherPK safe haven. So we're going to put healing pads everywhere.
Nice.
These are quintuple healing perks. In fact, let's be real cute about this. Let's edit this wall. I'm gonna give you a door. This will be your spot if things get rough. And I'm teasing a little, but I mean, at this height, enemies can snipe you, so we'll be keen on upgrading you. If anything gets up here, I'm even gonna give you your own gas traps. There we go. If a taker comes up here and has business with you, some wall darts, we'll snipe them. I just want you to be able to see this mission.
I want to place a trap. Oh, this is there we go.
Do it. Yeah. So we can shoot this down. We could have shot this down forever ago. The timer up there starts at 20, and you can start right away if you're crazy. Very experienced players will actually just shoot the balloon down and trap when the enemies are just walking up. When you know what you're doing, that's a thing. Behind you, actually, is a sniper defender just placed down. This is an enemy that will shoot for us. And that heavy sniper we talked about shoots through walls, which makes them ideal for defenses like this, as they will hear enemies up to 4 tiles away, even if they can't see them. And you can see they'll just get to shooting.
Yeah, he's aimbotting. He's shooting through walls.
Literally. That's why we use the
walls,
obliterator.
actually, look.
They do a great job.
Somebody has to report this.
They are working as intended. The obliterator shoots through walls. And in fact... Oh, hey, there's a smasher down here on the west side. Check it out. These guys are gnarly. Like, they are no joke. My team, broke our walls. They are instructed to stay on these things. I have 69 rocket ammo.
I see the tires dropping down on these guys. Oh my god.
And what we're experiencing here is honestly just the fun of the late game. We are using only some of the traps. Gas traps are poorly utilized in our defense right now. Oh, you can see smashers coming in on the south side. Not sure if you're able to see that exactly. Yeah, you are. You're looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
So you
at
can
them.
see they're getting frozen, taking more damage while frozen, and then the sniper and Maddie over there and the wall darts are all working together to take it out at the same time because they are a big deal. There is no point in the entire game where smashers are no big deal. These guys are very strong. You can hear them roaring. That's why they make a very loud sound effect. They will roar. They will let you know they're coming because you need to be ready to stop them. So we have a lot of action.
With the riot shield.
Yeah, so these guys are riot huskies. They
I
have
got sniped.
a riot shield. Those obliterators, or as you know them, heavy snipers, are able to shoot through those riot huskies, and you can shoot through their little face hole. As a BR player, you might be able to do it. I personally have a long history in FPS games, so I'm able to snipe that. But there are lots of different weapons that can shoot through the riot husky. You need to get around behind them, and it's just a lot. It's a lot.
But you're saying I can shoot through the little hole, like there's an opening?
Yeah, aim for it. Your
Okay,
sniper will shoot through the riot husky on its own, if more spawn. So what we've got is a husk here, the big boys. We've got normal husks walking in. You can see they're all yellow. So these guys are going to be resistant to anything but fire. Fire weapons will be ideal here, and that's one of the things that makes it tough. If you use a water weapon, it'll do a quarter of its damage. It's quite weak. You'll have a very hard time.
I see. Like, my flame bow is doing a lot more damage to them.
Yep. Yeah, you'll actually notice it. And that's just because it debuffs. The weapon just simply does less damage. So lobbers are a thing, and you can see them over here. These ladies are quite difficult. They will throw these beehives, which do damage when you stand on them. And in fact, I'll demonstrate it right here. This is not how I recommend placing these, but you'll see these anti-air traps will actually shoot off into the air and do damage. And that'll actually stop them from shooting the projectiles
I like
in.
that.
So you can see the bubble around us is called the storm, and that will hurt you. So that's one of the main difficulties of Retrieve the Data is, yes, it's pretty easy in the sense that it spawns as a balloon. You can look up in the sky, quickly locate it, and then just go and defend it. And you could build the same defense every time as it is the same shape, though terrain will dictate a difference, you know, like today. Even here in this exact mission, we can't just build the same defense every time because there's a whole ramp over here. There's a whole ramp over there. There's a wall over here. It stops things. So we have more riot huskies coming in. From above, we can just shoot down on them, but...
Outpost has been successfully downloaded. Did we retrieve the data?
So on the left-hand side, you can see the files. Your face cam is covering most of it, but...
Oh, I see it.
We're on 7 out of 16. Each one takes 30 seconds. That's why I call it an 8-minute defense. And
Gotcha.
I will say, as a tip to you and everybody, I didn't learn this until I had about 8,000 hours played, but at the 10 files mark is when you see the mini-boss. So that's a good one to look out for because they are gnarly. They can be...
Wait, there's going to be a mini-boss in this small circle.
Yeah. So we've got fire, wall weakening.
Oh, I see him.
I'm going to use the ground pounder shotgun. I have nothing in my build boosting a shotgun, but this thing's awesome, and it's water. So here we go.
Well, I'm coming in, guys. I'm coming in.
Yeah. Here's a war cry, everybody. Go crazy. So you can see teamwork alone, he's still alive. Like, mini-bosses are no joke. This one's pretty easy. I'll heal you up right there. So it really does take everybody to come together, and he got down pretty easily. Oh. Yeah, they get pretty tough. Some of them can be trap vulnerable, where your weapons are functionally useless. Again, I don't have a direct number, but it's about 90-95% damage reduction.
I'm gonna try to mantle back up. Oh, nice. Mantling is so convenient.
It's amazing.
Save the world.
It's amazing. I'm one of those people that never likes too much change, but when I saw that, I was like, oh, thank goodness. That is exactly what we needed. Some of these builds can be really, really tough. I'm not.
There weren't people saying, "Oh, it's not OG, it's not authentic. Keep it out of Save the World."
They'll miss it immediately. Like if they took it out, they'd be like, "Where'd it go?" They'll complain both directions.
That's how I felt when they brought OG back, and people were like, "No, we can't do sprinting because that wasn't an OG." I'm like, guys, it was a completely different game back then. Like, sprinting and mantling and sliding is such a core part of moving around on Fortnite now. People would hate OG if you couldn't do that.
So, I want to talk about the fact that the Smasher just broke our walls. That was one of the things I mentioned with it being a nature mission. We can't build out of metal. And the Smashers at this stage do enough damage that they will one-shot hit a full tier 3 brick wall boosted by Constructors. Constructors are a class in the game that can put down a base. That's the thing that I'm actually standing on. I think it's below your feet. But this is a thing that's actually put down, and that's why our walls are glowing. That is making them stronger, and Smashers still destroy them. They're that strong.
Oh, there's a Smasher right here.
Yeah.
He just ran through.
So you can see, this is also why you need to tether your builds in other directions. A lot of people build out from the center, Smashers break out your 4 walls, and then you lose every single ceiling trap. You've got to look out for that. That is that is an awkward and humbling defeat when every trap
Yeah.
you prepped is gone in one go. Gotta be careful with that, but it's something you can manage if you're ready for it. You can see, like I said, my team was instructed to be on their A game because these smashes are brutal, and that's why we put tar pits. You are never gonna stop a smasher from one hitting your walls. Yeah, they're getting knocked around. I'm using the Jabberwocky. It has a very high impact, and my team is using similar weapons. And yeah, these guys are just running through the walls. So if this were a water zone or a fire zone, we could easily build out a metal, and this would be significantly easier. But
We're protecting this thing in the center right here that has
Yep.
57,000 HP left, right?
Yep.
They've done a little bit of damage to it,
they have.
but
And
it's
that's
not like a critical.
not at
all. Can it get out of hand really quickly? In
Yup.
the sense that, like, okay.
like I said, you get a couple of the right walls getting broken down. You didn't prepare. All your ceiling traps disappear. Oh man, you got to build quick, and walls have to build up slowly, just like in BR. So you can't just place a tier 3 maxed out. You'll place it, and it builds up and up and up, and then you got to upgrade it. It takes a while. So if you're in a panic, you'll have someone sitting in the middle just spamming builds, just like in a BR box fight.
I'm just jealous of how many traps you guys have. Like, we've only had spike traps, fire traps, and ice traps, and then they removed all of them, and now I can only trap people in OG. But you have this plethora of trap options here that they could just, like, toss into Battle Royale. But we know that there's going to be some crossover. There's been some leaks about crossover. You said the Super Shredder is going to be coming to Battle Royale, right? That's what
I'm hearing, and
I'm hearing as well.
it is absolutely a weapon in Save the World that is quite fun to use. I was using it that whole game, and it's got a lot of strong single target damage. Crowd clearing is tricky, which is why I use a rocket launcher as alongside it. But so this is what I was mentioning earlier. This is where you can see how much Battle Pass XP you're getting. 25,000 just from that, plus a whole bunch of other rewards. And you got the other reward just from the mission itself. These are just Save the World items. And I think it puts all your Battle Pass XP in one mission, but yeah, gold, that's from the mini boss, that little gold coin on the ground. And then this evolution material cache was also from the mini boss, so you get some drops of rain there.
Beautiful.
Let's show you a Cat 4. This is, as I said, 4 different objectives and probably the hardest normal mission in the game. And that'll show you when things get really interesting.
This is the category 4 storm. Ghost Town, Twine Peaks, that's what we're doing.
Yep. And this one's got similar issues with the last one. Going to be a lot of things to overcome. Slowing pools, frenzy death burst, but they've also got vampires. So if they attack you, they'll heal.
It is vampires.
Yeah, so vampiric means if they attack us, they'll heal from the attacks. So if they smack us, they'll slowly regenerate, like eating a gigantic birthday cake. If they hit you, it's probably like a chicken nugget, but still, they're going to heal a little bit from that.
How many of these endgame missions are there to play?
I don't have a list off the top of my head. Not every mission makes it into a 160, but we've got about at least 24 different mission types in Save the World.
Is this something people speedrun as well?
Yeah, actually. There's a weekly quest to do 10 160s in the endgame where you get some awesome rewards called superchargers. So you can make a weapon 130, and that's the traditional max. But if you supercharge it, you can get all the way up to 144. 160s are really good for getting those superchargers, but you have to run 10 of them just for one supercharger. So people in like that Retrieve the Data mission we just did, they are more than happy to run that as fast as possible, and you can do all 10 of them in about 100 minutes in my experience. You can really get through that quick. I like to play the game and trap it out, because if you go too fast, you might actually lose, and that just takes longer. But if I have the time, I like to play them out. But people do speedrun these because it's kind of fun. Now, when you do have a set mission timer, like in this mission, it'll be another 8-minute defense. You just have to defend that. Really, the name of the game is getting started as fast as possible in that case.
Yeah. See, I'm wondering if with these crossovers, we might see some weapons, coming to BR, but I'm also interested in seeing some of these POIs, like chunks of them rifted into the BR world. I think it would be kind of cool for people to kind of see that.
We've got some really cool
both Save the
environments.
World and Battle Royale. Yeah, this environment is actually really nice.
And I think
a lot of like the desert biomes are kind of based off of this environment right here.
I think there's a lot more from Save the World in BR than many even realize.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
And the other way around. I think the lab dungeon is an event mode that's not currently available when we're recording this, and it won't be for a few months, but it'll be back around. The lab, I think, is almost entirely BR assets, so it's like super recognizable and kind of neat.
What do you mean it's not available right now? Was it available at one point?
Yep, just a few weeks ago, actually. Save the World has seasons. So we have 5 seasons every year, and they rotate pretty consistently. And, oh, we have 3 floaters. Okay. Alright. Alright, we have a decision point, Cypher. It's up to you.
What's up?
So, in this mission, we have to defend 4 different objectives, but in the mission we're in right now, 3 of them are floating, and the enemies can't target those, which is totally normal and intended. That is a thing that can happen.
Yeah.
It's just kind of lucky. But this mission will basically be a single atlas and not at all representative of what this mission is normally like. We could check it out because it's
In what
goofy.
way?
Or we could roll again and try and get a different one.
No, that's fine. In what way is it going to be different?
So instead of defending 4 objectives, we'll be defending 1.
Oh, okay.
Which is something that can happen. This is just a really lucky roll, and it's so funny. A couple hours ago on stream, I got this exact same kind of layout, and I said, oh man.
These things floating right here.
Yeah.
They're usually more spread apart?
They're usually in that location, but on the ground. This is not a bug. This is totally something that can happen.
Oh, they're in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
how does that change things since they're in the air versus on the ground?
the A1 over here is the only objective that the enemies will target.
Oh, because they can't reach the one in the air.
So it's kind of an easier roll. This is lucky if
let's do
you're
it.
looking for an easier way to do it, which might be perfect since we have a tourist here and they're fragile.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, I got a similar thing earlier, and I was like, if we run this, I'm going to ask him if he wants to keep it or not, because it definitely changes the game in a very interesting way. And that procedural generation is one of the things that I can enjoy about Save the World. So retrieve the data, I noted a couple times, has a pretty consistent layout, and therefore has a pretty standardized trap thing that a lot of endgame players do, and that can be the same mission over and over if you're going that route. But in Cat 4s especially, I call it Cat 4 Category 4, that's 4 objectives. This happens all the time. You'll have 2 floating, 1 floating, 0 floating. All 4 will be on the ground. Sometimes 1 is deep in a pit and really hard to defend. This is different every single time. A lot of players in the endgame will avoid this mission because of the variety. It's like, it's unpredictable and makes it hard to defend. I like it, but, you know, teach their own.
I wonder what's different about Save the World editing and Battle Royale that makes Save the World editing like feel like you're editing on like 300 ping. Like they have like an intentional like delay when you initiate the edit.
A more educated individual than me in my chat, Tomatek,
nice.
He's in our game as well. He noted that Save the World editing is server side and BR's client.
That's what it is. Oh my god! Because you know what's crazy is that Battle Royale used to be server side editing, and I remember I made a video complaining about that. I was like, editing is unfair because if you don't have low ping, you can't. You end up like shooting your gun and editing at the same time, and it's like it's all messed up. And then I got an email back from the lead tech engineer at Epic for Battle Royale at the time, and he said, hey, we're gonna actually experiment with client side editing and see if that works, and if it does, we'll probably roll it out in the next season. And then they did, and editing like completely changed.
Was that a Fortnite we need to talk moment?
It was a Fortnite we need to. I was like, that was actually the first Fortnite we need to talk ever.
Oh, history.
Yeah. But I legitimately sent an email. Like I sent an email with like
wow.
a 10-minute video attached saying like, guys, editing is messed up. Please fix it. And then they got back to me.
That's cool. Epic does listen. People
They do.
People complain, but even in Save the World, I mean, they will take our feedback. And
I wasn't even really popular at the time when I sent that. I was still just starting out. So like if it's good constructive feedback, like they will listen.
that's cool.
You can't just be like, the game sucks, fix it. They'll be like, all right, well, I don't know what you mean by that.
On a sober note, I like to remind people that developers are people. It's a real thing. Like, Save the World developers added animals to this game. They added animal heroes and a whole bunch of support for it, but the community just never liked them. People didn't love the animal stuff. It wasn't a very popular feature, and they were kind of bummed about that and stopped updating animal heroes. That mattered to them, and you know, they were excited about it. Community couldn't reciprocate, and they kind of scrapped future animal ideas. And that's the thing. If you're mean to people, it's just not going to help anything in any situation, usually. And developers are human.
Agree.
They might be companies. They might legally not be able to say much to you. They might have their own plans and might feel like they're not listening to you. But in reality, they are just people who want to make a good game, and they really want you to like it. So being mean to them just does nothing. You know, your game sucks, fix it. That's what do you want? What do you do with that? That's not anything. Are you going to fix the bugs? Which one are you? We're tracking them all.
Yeah.
Would you like to clarify?
All right. It's all about the messaging.
All right. So I've been setting up while we talked here. There's a lot to go on.
Yeah, I see this.
We might be over defending this, but I want to demonstrate what kind of needs to happen in the end game. We have cleared out the buildings surrounding. I put way too many tar pits. Again, if there's anybody snobby in the comments, just know I'm not trying to lose this mission. This is a nice ring of tar pits from an end game player who can afford it. And this is going to stop any smashers. I even put them up on the walls.
Are these expensive? Are the tar pits...
That is a philosophical debate. I honestly think, especially with the octupling to those supply crates I mentioned and those glowing animals that drop loot, I really don't think farming in this game is difficult now anymore, or even before. Farming, there are whole loadouts for it. Outlanders exist to farm. The entire hero class is featured around farming. You can do it, where you punch stuff and it just breaks and it gives you everything. It's really satisfying in my opinion. So, no. I don't think any trap is unattainable. As an individual trap, tar pits are a bit on the heavier side. They cost some resources that are not the easiest thing ever, but they're still pretty
But you've been
doable.
playing for a long time, too. Like, you have the resources.
Yeah, and a way that I play, and I've made videos on how to get every item, that's something where I talk about how... I got some fun ideas for you here. That's a thing where... I've shown people how to play and how I loot as I go, and I break stuff I don't need to, and I just get stuff. So, here's an awesome example. I don't think Matteo put this down on accident. Epic literally made a thread about the Rosie right here. This turret right here, if you want to hop in, you're welcome to. They made a Reddit thread and said, guys, give us some ideas. We want to know what the community wants with this. It was Matteo G, in-game, his idea. He said, hey, a bubble around it defending you from the enemies would actually be really cool. And they did it. This was his idea. And
that's awesome.
I personally had quite a long post on that thread, and I think it got #1 upvoted, where I was talking about the cooldown that didn't need to exist, the ammo that might not even need to exist, maybe the timer being too long, a whole bunch of different things, and they implemented a lot of that.
Recoil on it too. I noticed.
It's actually a lot better than it used to be. So if you want to hop in that at some point, you'll get some value out of that.
Yeah.
I think I can start this. We're going to go for a more defensive defense in the sense that I'm not building tunnels out to where the enemies are spawning. I basically put this giant ring and said, come to me. And what we're doing here is less tire traps and more ceiling electric fields. This is spam. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Oh my god, these little guys are running so fast.
Yeah.
They're little gremlins.
Now, if you hop back in the turret, and he moved it, if you actually press, I don't know what the hotkey is by default, but I think shift, it'll pulse that bubble outwards and push them away. And so you can actually defend yourself a bit from those enemies.
Might be a little too many enemies.
You got to take at least one hit. So let's get you maybe back, standing behind a wall. We've got healing traps everywhere, but what we really need to stop is from the other enemies attacking you. So I'm going to put these walls down here and just give you kind of a safe corridor to watch through. You can watch the enemies come through, and this is where a more defensive defense is coming in, and you can see it's a lot less effective. Enemies are getting a lot closer. They have a lot more time to set up and attack you from range. That's why you were going down. Now you're a lot safer as we block their line of sight. I'm going to show you something fun, just because they're coming over here. So, death pits exist. So, what we have here is the basement to a house that has no way out. Right over here in front of me.
Okay.
So what you can do is use the wall launcher trap to literally push the enemies into the pit. I'll put a wall because my wall launchers might set them too far. I'll bait them over, say, hey guys, come on over here. And as they walk through, I think you'll want to, all right, come on, Sypher, don't be on the ground.
I'm trying.
I'm teasing. So if you want, yeah, there it goes. It'll send them over. I wonder if there's something we could...
This actually used to exist in VR as well. I think if I just take some high ground, I should be okay for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, my character. Do you see what's going on with my character?
Oh, what is going on? They're gonna break an arm.
I broke my shoulder. So in BR there was like these death pits as well, where the houses like had basements and there was no walls, and you couldn't mantle back in chapter 1. There was no mantling or anything like that. So if you ran out of materials and happened to fall down into one of those death pits, you literally were stuck there. Like there was nothing you can do unless you had movement or materials.
Yeah, that's a good thing they patched out. In Save the World, we use it to our advantage because the enemies, when they go down there, they'll just despawn. It's kind of like a one-hit kill, which is one of the things that makes wall launchers, in my silly opinion, kind of a one-hit kill trap. If you can send them all the way off the map.
A little underrated.
No, I think they're exactly rated because people
okay,
know about
okay.
this. It's a common strategy. We'll do
Gotcha.
shout out to the classic David Dean. He's one of the people from years and years ago that showed trap guides back in the day. He called them, I think it was him who called them timeout rooms. If I'm giving wrong credit, someone in chat will correct me. But shout out to him anyway. Timeout rooms, where they'll use the wall launcher to push enemies into a little box with other traps that do a lot of single target damage. So you'll shove them in a little room, do a bunch of damage, and it makes the wall launcher really effective. And they've changed it. These big smashers can't get pushed around by wall launchers as easy as they once did, but they're still a very good trap, and it was a nice opportunity to show it off.
Is that skull targeting me, or are these? Oh, they're just throwing it up in the air.
So those lobbers are probably targeting the atlases. That's the defenses we got here, and you can see, yeah, you can shoot those. And
Nice.
I love that. It's one of those basic things where very few players will commit themselves to shooting those. I like to do it because it's target
it's
practice,
fun.
basically. And it does defend the objective. But anti-air traps exist nowadays, and they do that all on their own. So I'm using a shotgun build right now. It is annihilating everything. Smashers on these missions.
Sounds dangerous.
It really is. It's a little loud. Sorry if that's throwing anything
it's all
off.
good.
But it's very, very strong. Shotguns are some of the strongest in the game, and they do a really, really good job. I think the mini-boss should be around the 2.5 minute mark, though they don't always spawn exactly on time. I'll show you a fun basic trap. So these will prick the feet of the enemies, and it will slow them down by like 30%. And
Gotcha.
all right, these guys are shy. Oh, they're coming up this way. All right, there we go. So when they get hit, if you actually look at their feet, it should show the slowed animation. Sometimes it doesn't work, but the idea is that it'll actually slow them down. Yeah, you can see the little thing shooting up on them. That's the indicator that they're literally slowed, which is an interesting tactical trap because damage-wise, this is not what you're using these for. I used to craft them at blue rarity just because it was cheap and did the same thing because all this trap is really doing is slowing the enemies down so they spend more time in your other traps.
Ah, I see. So you'll have other traps set up. Just kind of the freeze trap with the tires, but like
Different. Yep.
there's a different
So
approach to it.
Ice King versus The Rock. What's going on, MBR? Ice King is actually a hero in Save the World. He's a whole character.
See, that's why I chose Team Ice King. I knew he had a little bit more tie and like lore in Fortnite. That's why I picked. I feel like The Rock is cool and all, but like he's kind of like a newcomer compared to the Ice King. The Ice King's always been here.
He is an actual character playable in Save the World. He's actually the most popular constructor because in the commander slot, he makes it so that when enemies hit your walls, they freeze, which is kind of awesome.
Ooh.
230, there's the mini boss. Like clockwork. Sometimes Beast knows what he's talking about. Sometimes. He's way out here.
Big guy right here.
He spawned near C. Oh, it's fire. All right, friends, let me do this solo. This will be fun. So what we've got is a mini boss that spawned by C, but like can't get to us.
Oh, I see.
And he can despawn, so I don't want to waste him. All right, he's all the way down here if you want to run down with me.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So he is a fire. You can see that in the upper left. I'm using a water weapon, so I do my full damage. And you can see the damage from the ground.
Let me get out of the tar that's killing me.
Yeah, that volcanic thing. I guess it's just acid pools. Oh, it's volcanic and acid pools. Oh, great combo. Yeah, we're never going to survive. But you can see the ground pounder.
Last hit there. I'm going to take full credit.
Yeah, so Cypher carried. Cypher carried. Without that last 1%, I don't know where we'd be at. Still dying to the volcano. But that one was another comparatively easy mini-boss, and the ground pounder being a very strong weapon. So Ice King is one of the most popular commanders, and that's because he can freeze enemies when they hit your walls. And in support, his whole perk is just slowing enemies down when they're on your base, on your floors, by 15%. Which is, again, just a tactical thing. Like, his whole thing is just making enemies slower. And that makes it easier to kill them, takes them less time to hit your base, more times for your other traps to do their job. And these things right here, I should probably show you. You don't have your hoverboard yet, but there's a hoverboard in Save the World. And these guys have been putting down boost pads.
Oh! Nice.
Which is really fun.
That's so cool.
It's really, really
You're
cool.
moving so fast.
Yeah. Hoverboards are really awesome.
How come we don't have that speed like in any battle royale setting? Like that speed is crazy.
So your home base defense is an area where your builds will stay forever, and people will decorate those home bases or build little roller coasters with those boost traps for your hoverboard. There's a lot you can do. And that's very, very watered down category 4. It was kind of a solo Atlas. That's why I went a little heavy on the nearby traps, but pretty light on the overall tunnels, because I figured they'll just come to us and we'll take care of them there. That mission can get significantly harder, but that was actually maybe a good look at how it can be on the easier side.
I do want to like recycle all my stuff and like kind of give myself like a authentic experience when this goes free to play. I think a lot of people will enjoy that, so
I agree.
I'll be doing it.
If you made a little series out of it, I think people might like that. And that was it. That was showing SypherPK the 160 missions in Fortnite Save the World. I'm honestly super glad once again that he invited me to come along, show him the game, and actually had a pretty good time. I think this video turned out pretty well. As you guys know, I like to let the conversation run, and I know you guys enjoy longer content, so there you go. That was 40 minutes of me and Sypher hanging out in Fortnite Save the World. I hope he posts some more. I think the game is going to blow up with free to play, and if you guys want to check it out yourselves, this is not a sponsored video. I just wanted to cut up my perspective of our session, but the game is going free to play, and you should definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Use code Mista at your checkout if you guys want to support me with your purchases, and have a great rest of your day. And then